Hey, welcome back to another episode of Veach Season. We are your guest hosts, Rocky Magaña and Kramer Sansone. It's hot as shit outside, but do you know who's not on the hot seat as of right now? Me and you, Kramer.
That's true. Damn straight.
Another week, still in the game, still with our name in the ring. Newsflash: no new 5-star reviews from last week.
Oh,
no new comments on YouTube. One goddamn like.
Oh, Rocky, you can't say goddamn on here.
That's not like anybody's listening anyway. It doesn't.
Shout out Bob Uecker.
Shout out Bob Uecker, Major League, all-time classic film. All right, let's get this started right off the bat here, Kramer. We're gonna hit it hard with some really hard-hitting journalism.
Of course,
should just right off the bat. All right, top 3 baseball movies all time. Go.
Oh, that's a good one. All right, number 1 is Major League 1. That's just the best. Sandlot might be number 2, and then Benchwarmers 3 on my list.
Benchwarmers 3.
Oh, dude, there's so you can quote that movie from start to finish. That's why I have it up there.
Jesus Christ, you couldn't even say Rookie of the Year.
Oh no, no. Let's put Hardball. Let's replace Hardball with that.
Angels in the Outfield or Bull Durham or The Natural.
Good. Oh, The Natural's good.
Or Field of Dreams or A Perfect Game or The Rookie.
Said top 3. You said top 3. You can't put all the movies in the one. I mean, The Natural's good. Man, The Natural's so good. That's a classic.
So many options.
But hey, that's my 3. That's gun to the head. That's my 3. I'm saying.
All right, gun to the head. My top 3 baseball movies. Major League. It might be Major League 2.
That's a good one. The guy that can't throw it back to the pitcher, he has to recite Playboy magazines.
Yeah. And when the coaches, the managers in the hospital, and he has a heart condition, he's not supposed to be listening to the game. Yeah, Lou, and he's all like, "I love this Swedish shit."
Such a good movie. Yeah, 1 and 2 are that's The third one wasn't great. I don't even remember the third one. I don't think I even tried.
1 and 2 were excellent. I'm going to say the original Major League is number 1. Oh, shit. Baseball movies are just so good. It's like the best sport for a movie.
I agree. Oh, 100% agree.
All right. I'm saying just like this. All right, number 1 is Major League. Number 2, God, it almost has to be The Sandlot because of how foundational it was to me growing up. Windy Peppercorn is still the love of my life to this day, and I have a pair of PF Flyers. Sick. So that I can be like Benny the Jet, right? Like as a grown-ass man, I own a pair of PF Flyers.
And you should. Never know when you might need them.
I need them every day of my life to keep up with these goddamn kids. Sorry, I can't say goddamn on the air.
Yeah, no one's listening.
Number 2. Yeah, no one's listening anyways. Number 2, I'll say is a Sandlot. Number 3, Bull Durham is a strong candidate. Field of Dreams is a strong candidate. The Natural is a strong candidate. The Babe is a really strong candidate.
The Babe. I can't think.
John Goodman plays Babe Ruth.
Oh, yes. There we go.
That movie is awesome. But for number 3, I'm gonna go with A League of Their Own.
I've never seen A League of Their Own from start to finish.
You never seen A League of Their Own? Oh,
from start to finish.
Amazing.
That
movie's amazing.
I'm always when I turn on the TV and it's on. It's always at the tail end. I'm like, well, I need the entire premise.
I made my wife watch it. I mean, but seriously, like A Perfect Game's a really good movie. The Rookie's a really good.
42 is good.
Yeah, 42 is not bad. That's a pretty good one. So was it 60? Was that the one about Roger Maris and Mickey Man? No, Roger Maris. Yeah, Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle's home run chase. That was an HBO direct movie. Just 62, 64, whatever it was. That was a great one. Man, there's I feel like we've been missing some baseball movies that are amazing. I mean, Naked Gun. Naked Gun is technically a baseball movie.
O.J. Simpson is a robot in that movie.
Yeah, and I mean they're
not O.J. Simpson, Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson. Yeah, they're because O.J. Simpson's a cop in that movie.
That's right. Yeah, there we go.
He's his partner.
So ironic.
Yeah. That's a baseball movie. That's amazing. Was The Fan with Wesley Snipes and Tommy Lee Jones. That was a good one. little more serious.
Fever Pitch.
Fever Pitch. Yeah. Oh my God.
A little rom-com action there.
Yeah. Fever Pitch. Some Jessica Biel poolside action. That'll
Hell yeah, brother.
something in a young Rocky. My God. Yeah. Like we were talking about Wendy Peppercorn away against something. Some Jessica Biel action. Something. I credit Jessica Biel. Like as a young man, there was a period of time where this is gonna get us canceled. This
Okay, this is it. This is
you
the
ready,
thing.
Kramer?
Yeah,
This
let's
is the
hear it.
moment where we get canceled. There was a period of time as a young man for Rocky Magaña where I was not a fan of women's breasts. I did not like breasts.
Oh boy.
And the reason for it was because I was watching a whole lot of Discovery Health Channel back in the day, and they always had like these like breast reduction surgeries and like breast enhancement surgery. Everything was just all these different breast surgeries.
Augmentations, yeah.
Yeah, augmentation or just like cancer removal. Like the Discovery Health Channel back in the day used to just be like live surgeries on television, right? And you would watch like heart transplants and all sorts of
Never
crazy
seen
shit.
this.
And so like I'd watch hours and hours and hours of these surgeries. I was like obsessed with them when I was like 18, 19 years old, right? Just because like it was so interesting. And the stories behind everybody, like cleft lip repairs, like didn't matter, right?
Right.
But anyway, there were so many breast surgeries on that channel that like at some point, like you just see like a boob get cut open like so many times in a surgery that you're just like, that is not attractive to me anymore. And I was just like, they're just sacks of fat and they're gross and I don't like them. And then I went and saw Fever Pitch in the theater and I saw Jessica Biel walking in that bikini poolside. And I was immediately snapped back onto the booby bandwagon.
Welcome back.
And she saved me. She brought me back from the brink. She brought me back from the dark side rabbit hole of a Discovery Health that I had fallen down. And she saved me from myself.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy she's on this world to be in your life, you know?
Yeah. So
she doesn't realize it, but she helped you out.
She'll never know unless she's listening to the show and she's a big Veach season. If she's a Veach,
maybe she's the one person with the like.
Maybe she's the one like. And if you're the one like, Jessica, come on the show. You're welcome anytime. You and Halle Berry could guest host the show instead of us. We'll get the fuck out of your way.
If they know their shit, yeah, you're more welcome to stay.
They don't have to know their shit.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Biel and Halle Berry. They could just say, listen here, dumbasses, get up. And then we're like, yeah, okay, cool. Do whatever you want. Just let us know when you're done and we'll start to upload it. Talk about whatever you want. Like, I don't give a shit.
The floor is yours.
The floor is yours. Talk about Love Island for 5 hours straight. I
feel like right now at this point, you could talk about Love Island for 5 hours straight.
Well, me and my wife have been very much invested in watching Love Island together. I'm not invested in the actual storyline of Love Island or the characters or the relationships or the show.
Is there like a Carson Steele type on this show?
You know, there is like a Carson Steele type guy. There's a couple underdogs on this show that you wouldn't think necessarily would be the underdog, but they are.
Yeah, so these guys aren't giving up the Crocky J or anything like that, right?
Oh no, they're Crocky Jane it on the first date. These people are sluts.
Oh, they are
sluts, like some hardcore. Just, I mean, we're just like there's like they show scenes of like people slow motion, just like licking each other's tongues up and down.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, like it's like
this is on TV every night. That's wild.
Yeah, these are some slutty ass sluts, male and female both, and I'm here for it. But that being said, I'm into it because my wife is really, really, really into it. And so I'm not into the show or anything about it. I'm into the time I get to spend.
You're getting the brownie points is what you're doing.
Yeah. Not even that, just like her just wanting to be in my presence for an hour.
Yeah.
Even if I don't get to say anything. Like if I try to talk, it's like shut up. I'm watching my show. But just getting to sit there in silence and just have her wanting to be around me is enough. It's enough for me, right? You know. And then also I get to sit there and just like get caught up on my Arrowhead Pride articles and my reading and check out Chiefs News and Chiefs Twitter and whatever I want, but also still get the brownie points for watching the show with her that I'm while I'm reading Chiefs stuff the whole time.
You know what? I think
So
I'm taking notes because I think you've mastered it, Rocky.
listen, listen, I haven't been married for like 50 years or anything like that, but I'm not new to the game anymore. I got a couple tricks up my sleeve.
Well, I'm going to be new to the game here in about a couple months, so.
Well, here's the advice I can give you. Absolutely everything changes. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Just take a lot of deep breaths and think before you open your damn mouth because you're going to say a lot of stupid shit.
Oh, I say a lot of stupid shit now, man.
Yeah.
It's,
Just do your best to stay out of trouble.
Just keep, I'll head down the entire time. Gotcha.
Like, you know how like in like the NCAA, like being married is like the NCAA tournament. You just want to survive in advance. It doesn't matter how you win. Doesn't matter.
Oh, I'm going to
Doesn't matter
win.
what the score is. Doesn't matter if you're playing triangle 2 defense. Doesn't matter if you have a bunch of breakaways. Doesn't matter if you scrap it out because the other team's turned the ball over too many times. Doesn't matter if you're a 16 seed or a 1 seed. Just win in advance. And just every day, just keep winning and advancing. And it's like being in the NCAA tournament for the rest of your goddamn life.
Ooh. All right. I'm always going to be the underdog too, because why not? That's the mindset. Survive in advance, baby.
That's the mindset. That's how you
Slap
win.
the hardwood right now.
Hungry dogs run faster. Ruff, ruff, ruff. But yeah, so anyway, we're 11 minutes and 43 seconds into this episode of Veach season. Veach season. Brought to you today by Air Jordans. Air Jordan. We love Veach season. That's Michael Jordan wrote that article himself.
I'm a Reebok guy.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Veach season. Brought to you by the Reeboks from the mid 90s, where you'd pump up the air and the tongue and the Shaq ones. Yeah.
The pumps. The pump ups. No.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they're called. Never had them.
Wow. Veach season. Brought to you by alcoholism.
I've actually had a Shaquille O'Neal shoe before. They were they were the Walmart versions of them, and they didn't last long. They literally it's like the bottom of the shoe, a crack went straight down the middle of it, and you could literally tear it up and stuff. So we got a refund, but I wouldn't buy those shoes if I were you.
The first pair of shoes. So two things. I could never have Air Jordans growing up because they cost too much money. But there for a small period of time, there was a version of Jordans that they sold at Walmart.
Really?
They were called Sky Jordans. They weren't Air Jordans. They were Sky Jordans. And they were like Jordans, but they didn't have the air bubbles in the sole. So if you ever wore them, everybody was like, that's the basic bitch Jordans. Those aren't the real ones. Like, fuck you, you suck. And you'd still get bullied for wearing poor kid shoes. But they were Jordans. They were just Sky Jordans and not Air Jordans. But it was almost worse because it was like.
Do you remember the Stephen Barry store that was here in Kansas City?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, I love that store. Get my Big Ben shoes.
That was a great show. Yeah, dude. Listen. I used to be a little bit of a sneakerhead back in the day. Now I'm more of a flip flop connoisseur because I live in Florida.
Oh yeah, you kind of have to. It's easy.
Or a barefoot connoisseur. Literally, I probably wear shoes because I work from home also. So I wear shoes like.
So you don't need to be a sneakerhead. It's not like you have to wear them out anywhere.
No, I literally put on flip flops to take my kids to daycare. And that's the only time I wear shoes, usually Monday through Friday. So it's not a bad life. But my very first pair of shoes I ever bought with my own money was Kobe's rookie season, and I saved up and I bought his Adidas.
Nice.
Sick. And those were sick shoes. Like if you ever saw like the original Kobe Adidas, they were black and white and they had like these crazy, like almost like bubble ball looking sole. Let me see if I can find a picture of them because they were cool. At least they were for being in the 90s.
I think the first pair of shoes I bought was these. I class them as cotton candies, but they were Steph Curry's Under Armours. They're like a blue and dark blue, powder baby blue. It was just a nice blue color.
I'm trying to see here. I don't even see anybody with them. Like, oh, here they are. The original 1997 Kobe's. I'm going to show them to you. Ready?
Let's see them.
All right, we're going to present it. You're not going to like you're not even going to think these look cool, but back in the day, imagine these being brand new. These were the absolute shit. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I remember seeing those. I do.
These have seen some love on them, but
Oh
these are
yeah,
the original.
those have definitely been worn through.
Yeah,
Asking you 150 for that? That's well, they ain't original.
Yeah, they are original. These ones are in better shape.
Those are in very good shape. Those almost look fake.
Yeah, these are different ones. These aren't the same ones. These are different ones.
You know how you can tell? The color of the Adidas logo on the back of the hoop.
On the back of the hoop. Oh yeah. Yeah, those aren't the original 97s. These are the original 97s right here. These shoes were the shit. These were like the most highly sought after shoes in 1997 when I was a sophomore in high school. Yeah, these were awesome. Anyway, so that was my first pair of shoes that I ever purchased with my own money. The first CD I ever purchased with my own money was Boyz II Men 2, their second album. It's also still their best album of all time. And so that was a
you could tell we're in our deep bag of June conversations on this Veach season episode.
We were talking about our first CDs we ever. What was the first CD you ever purchased?
Maybe like didn't they have like those top 20 or whatever it was?
Yeah,
it had been one of those.
The Kids Bop. Did you buy a Kids Bop?
Didn't buy the Kids Bop.
Last week you bought Kids Bop.
No, I can't do the Kids Bop. But no, the Now stuff. That's what we always used to buy those.
Nice.
It always had the good hits on it.
You bought the Kids Bop Death Row Records 90s edition. It's like 6-year-old singing hit.
Honestly, the last one we probably got was it was probably like a WWE intro song. It was just everybody's entrances on one CD.
I like that. That's dope. I think the second album I ever bought was All Eyes on Me by Tupac. Yeah, I think that was my second
good
album
one.
I bought.
It's a good one.
Yeah, that was a good album. I played that a lot until my mom found it, and we lived in a very religious household.
I understand.
My mom asked me point blank. She said, "Rocky, how do you think Jesus feels with you listening to this music?" And I was like 14 years old at the time, and I looked her dead in the eye, dead ass in the eye, and I said, Mom, I prayed about it. And he said he's cool with it. He says that I'm mature enough to handle it and that we're good.
Good. It's probably true.
She said, okay. And I most definitely never once prayed about it ever in my entire life. But I do feel like me and Jesus were good with it and that he was cool with me listening to Tupac. I see.
Hey, you're still here living. I think you're okay.
Yeah, he didn't strike me dead when I listened to Eminem's first album either. And I mean, you want to hear some shit like people talk about the stuff that people say today. Eminem's first album, like we could never get canceled if Eminem didn't get canceled with his first album. Like there was some shit on that album that I don't even think he would make that album today.
Well, I mean, the FCC wanted to pull his record. They wanted to pull everything. So
he caused a real shitstorm.
Yeah, I know. He's I mean, I love Marshall, St. Joe boy.
I love Marshall too. I love that album. I had that album. It was a shitstorm. That was another album that
I really didn't listen to it until I had to be older because I couldn't. I just couldn't listen to it in 2000. No, wait, 99 or whenever it was.
Yeah.
Think about it. I was also 3 in 99. So
yeah, it was like 98. I think it was even.
I was 2 years old. Yeah, I was bumping that at 2-year-old.
Yeah, that was another album that I told my mom that I prayed to Jesus about, and he said it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that DMX's first album, Jay-Z's first album, Ludacris's I Want to Lick You From Your Head to Your Toes.
See, I didn't buy many albums or DVDs or not DVDs, CDs.
That's because you grew up. You guys had MP3s, dude. When I first started buying music, I was buying effing cassette tapes.
Oh, I never even used a cassette tape in my life.
When I was like 5
for
Christmas, I got a radio for my bedroom, and it had a record player, a cassette tape had dual side-by-side cassette decks that you could copy one cassette to the other.
Nice.
And then had an 8-track player in it as well. I had freaking 8 tracks, dude, when I was a kid. Like I've seen some shit in this world.
I bet you have. I
don't doubt it. I've gone from ColecoVision and Atari and Betamax VCRs and 8-track players to ChatGPT. I have seen the world change in my
yes,
in
you
my,
have.
In my day.
Heck, I get it. I understand. Can you imagine the person like the older people? They're like in their 80s, 90s that never really experienced the internet, and like the internet was new and foreign to them, and they had to learn that early on.
Yeah, like can you imagine being like my grandparents now, like they're like I have a grandfather that's still alive, and it was like he was like 60 when the internet came out. Like he's had to live for so long with the internet, and just like never really understanding it. And so like, I mean, but at some point you just got to evolve, right? You can't just sit on your jitterbugs cell phone forever.
Yeah.
At some point you gotta
the time suck machine.
And at some point you gotta grow up and get a smartphone and just ruin your life. Anyway. What's hot with Krame Dog? We're 20 minutes into this episode.
I honestly could have been what's hot with Krame Dog, but we in the Kansas City world, a former Kansas City Royal has finally officially announced his retirement in Whit Merrifield. So Rocky, I'm curious, who would be the Whit Merrifield comp to the Kansas City Chiefs, and who went in the entirety of the Kansas City Chiefs history? Who might be the best comp to Whit Merrifield? Remember, Whit Merrifield was a back-to-back hits leader in the MLB, in the American League. And I think it was in 2018 and 2019. Dude was a hitting machine. That's why we called him 1-hit Whit, 2-hit Whit, 3-hit Whit, 4-hit Whit.
3-hit Whit.
Yeah, that was every night, it seems like.
Rex Hudler was just adding a number onto something hit Whit with every single game.
So who do you think would be the Chiefs player equivalent to Whit Merrifield?
I'm going to say Trent Green.
Oh, interesting.
I would say Alex Smith, but I feel like maybe Alex Smith, because maybe the era that Whit Merrifield played in is kind of like the same as the era that Alex Smith played in. It was just before, right? But then Trent Green, like he was on some really good teams, and he like led the league in offense, right? And in the years when he was quarterback, but there's just no defense with him. And he was like the most dangerous quarterback in the NFL for a couple of years there when he had. And the Chiefs had the highest scoring offense with him. So I'm going to say Trent Green. Trent Green was Whit Merrifield.
Nice.
Also, he wasn't a first-round draft pick, right? He wasn't a high pick
like
Alex Smith was, and neither was Whit. Whit spent 10 years, right, in the minors before he got his shot.
He should have got called up the year they won the World Series. I think it's kind of crappy they didn't. But Adalberto Mondesi is a World Series champion.
Yeah, Adalberto Mondesi is a World Series champion. There's a lot of who was that? Brian Finnegan. Right, he's a World Series champion. The
Brandon
elite
Finnegan.
pitcher, Brandon Finnegan. Yeah, he's a World Series champion as well.
It's true, very true.
Tim Collins, is Tim Collins a World Series champion?
I don't think Tim Collins, little tiny lefty. I don't think he's. I don't think he's a champion.
He was on the team. Okay,
and he was tiny. He was like 5'4".
R.I.P. Ace Ventura.
Giordano.
Yeah.
For some reason, my mind went to Jim Carrey, and I'm like, wait, Jim Carrey passed away?
No, Ace, the Ace.
Yeah, yes, yeah. I got you.
Giordano Ventura. Yeah, no.
R.I.P. Yo. Yep.
He was a stud.
Very.
He was so freaking nasty. Yeah, but I'm gonna say Trent Green. Who do you think it is?
I think Eric Berry. A guy that's like he was under the radar most of the time. He's always made an impact when you need him. When he stayed healthy, he was a force.
But he was also like the number 9 pick in the draft.
Yeah, but I know I'm not going off the draft aspect. I'm going back the what you meant to the team aspect. Eric Berry meant a lot to the Chiefs.
Eric Berry meant a lot to me. Eric Berry is one of my favorite Chiefs of all time, and one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my entire life.
Whit was holding it down during the era where Royals baseball sucked.
Yeah, Whit Merrifield is your generation's Mark Tien
Yeah. I remember Mark Tien too playing.
Mark Tien I loved Mark Tien when he played for the Royals. We had Mark Tien and Raul Ibanez on the same team. That was a fun hitting team. We had Jermaine Dye as well. And
gosh, you guys, that outfield at one point had Jermaine Dye, Johnny Damon, and Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, believe me, I know. I was on PA. We used to call him Johnny Damon, Superstar Johnny.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that was a fun outfield to watch. And we had no pitching.
Zero pitching.
Zero pitching. And then we traded in Jermaine Dye for Matt Stairs.
Shout out Matt Stairs.
Shout out Matt Stairs, the guy who looks like he is in a John Deere commercial.
That dude I feel like he would be amazing in slow pitch softball.
Oh man, he would rake. Like in a beer league softball, that guy would hit 100 home runs.
Anytime you can get Matt Stairs in a conversation. Matt Stairs had an incredible baseball career.
It was great. It was awesome. I mean, like, give me like Jason Giambi, Matt Stairs, and John Crook on a softball team.
That'd be nasty.
And I would win the league.
Really, Jason Giambi just swinging and makes it like effortlessly.
Yeah, I mean, he had a beautiful stroke though. He was awesome. Jason Giambi was another really good player.
Man, that's what Tom Krame done.
All right, well, I know it's the Chiefs podcast, but really quick, who's your favorite Royals player of all time?
Ooh. Dude, that's
not the best, but who's your favorite? Not the best one you think that the Chiefs, the Royals have ever had. But who's your favorite?
Growing up, I always loved shortstops, and Angel Barrera was an absolute fun one to watch. He could hit the shit out of the ball too, but it wasn't the best. But man, he knew how to play.
Sometimes he could hit the shit out of the ball. He struck out a lot.
Yeah, he did. He struck out a lot. But the way that he played defense on the field, I loved it. Yeah, he's a rookie of the year, wasn't he?
He was, and then he batted like 220 for the rest of his career.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But he was a lot of fun. Yeah, he was a lot of fun.
Plus, his name, Angel Barrera, that's a badass name, especially for 6-year-old Kramer.
Yeah. You were too young to ever watch Chico Lean. He was a fun ass defender for the Royals.
Yep, didn't get to watch him.
Chico Lean and Greg Gagne.
Oh no, honestly, right? Bobby Witt. Bobby's just so good.
He's your favorite.
I'm glad to witness what he's doing in person.
Yeah, Bobby Baseball is a really good player. Ah, man. Bo Jackson, maybe for me. Could be Brett. Could be David Cone.
You got to watch them.
Yeah, I got to watch them. But you know who my favorite Royals player of all time is? And it's because he was the first Royals player I ever fell in love with as a kid.
Who is it?
Buddy Biancalana. Buddy Biancalana had one World Series of awesome play for a 2-week period. He was the man in 1985, and then he disappeared off the face of the planet.
Damn.
But I had about 50 Buddy Biancalana cards when I was a kid because he was my favorite baseball player.
Is it because you like the way he said it, his name?
It's because I 100% like the sound of his name, and because I remember that radio that I got for when I was a kid. I remember being in my brother's bedroom when we lived in Olathe. Our bedroom was in the basement, and which was a stupid ass idea by my parents. My brother was 7 and I was 4, and their room was like on the top floor, and our room we shared like the entire room that was like converted basement, and we were just down there all day by ourselves, just getting into trouble. It was awesome, but stupid idea on there by my parents' part. But we were down in the bedroom listening to the World Series on that radio that I told you about just a little bit ago. And I remember Buddy Biancalana getting a clutch hit as a 4-year-old.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It was awesome. It was a great memory. And then I immediately was like just a full-on Buddy Biancalana fan after that. So anyway, let's talk some football.
Let's do it.
Andy Reid was named the top coach in the NFL by PFF. No surprise there.
Good job. He needs to be.
Much like Patrick Mahomes, there is the Andy Reid tier and then everybody else afterwards. That's why they should rename Coach of the Year to Breakout Coach of the Year or most overperforming Coach of the Year or something like that, right? Like best newcomer Coach of the Year. But you can't just call it best Coach of the Year because the best Coach of the Year never wins Coach of the Year,
unfortunately.
Right? Like they're never going to give Andy Reid another Coach of the Year award,
which is dumb.
Which is dumb because he's the best coach of the NFL every single year. And so, but they just don't want to.
I feel like the best Coach of the Year is the coach that gets their team to the Super Bowl and wins the Super Bowl. That's how it should be.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that Coach of the Year award should be handed out as a Super Bowl award.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, you won the Super Bowl. You're the Coach of the Year.
That's like logically, that's how it should be, right?
Yeah, right. And so, but for you, okay, so right now in the NFL, right now, who are your top 5 NFL head coaches?
Well, one's Andy. That's just a given. I think you gotta get Mike Tomlin in there, but I wouldn't say he's number 2. I'd put like Mike Tomlin at like 4 maybe on this. Like Mike Tomlin knows how to win. He's always knows how to win. John Harbaugh has to be on there at some point. Maybe he might be the second best coach in the league. And I know that's a loaded hot take. So I'd be Andy 1, John Harbaugh 2. Maybe I like Mike McDaniel a lot. I think if you get him with the right players and everything, he'll do wondrous things. If Tua stays healthy, Dolphins are a legitimate force. That's also, I mean, everybody else has to stay healthy as well for that. So maybe McDaniel 3, and let's just do Dan Campbell 5.
All right.
It's very all over the place, but I like these guys.
Yeah, I like that a lot. All right, so for me, Andy Reid's number 1, obviously. Number 2, I'm going to go Mike Tomlin just because I think that he just continually wins 8 games with a shitty roster every single year. And so I think that's hard to do. Number 3, just because he's done it for so long, I'm going to go John Harbaugh. Number 4, I'm going to go Dan Campbell. Number 5, I'm going Kevin O'Connell, Minnesota Vikings.
Kevin O'Connell, he's got he's a good coach. He's a really damn good coach.
Really damn good coach. Right.
He actually might be right now in the league, he might be number 2. Just because what he did with Sam Darnold, I don't think he could he could probably do that with McCarthy this upcoming season if McCarthy stays healthy. But man, he's good.
Well, hey, the person who liked our video last week, leave a comment.
Yeah,
on YouTube, letting us know who your top 5 head coaches are. And for the rest of you sickos, leave us a comment section either A on Apple Podcasts so we can read it here live on the air, or B, just comment when we share the shit on Twitter.
Yeah,
right? When we share the podcast on X, you can comment there as well, and we'll read those comments as well. Let us know, or just message us on X, or tweet at us on X. Not on X, on Twitter. God dang it!
It's X. Kramer. What do you mean? You got it. You got it right. You said it right.
God, you're turning me into a millennial. Boom! I'm supposed to be a boomer over here.
I'm turning you into a Gen Zer, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Millennials are like grandparents now.
I think you're millennial. Yeah,
I'm barely. So millennials like the earliest or the latest you can be to be a millennial is like, or the earliest you can be to be a millennial is 1981, and that's when I was born. So I'm like the oldest possible millennial you can be.
I'm one of the oldest possible Gen Zers because it's like anything July of 96 starts a Gen Z.
Look at us, just crossing the boundaries of the generational divide here for brotherhood.
Yes, sir.
With love. But yeah, message us on Twitter, on X, on wherever you want, on Instagram. I'm on Threads now because somehow.
Well, if you have an Instagram, you have a Threads account.
That's exactly what happened. I reactivated my Instagram, and then I was all of a sudden had a Threads account, and I was like, oh, okay. I actually technically have a Blue Sky account, even though I'm never on it. Because
you're progressive.
Hey, listen, I'm anti Nazi propaganda ads in my social media. That's all it is.
Dude, you gotta fix your algorithm, buddy, because I don't see any of that shit. Thank God.
that was the one on Twitter, right? Where like I wasn't.
Oh yeah, all that stuff's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was terrible. And so it's all
don't
gone
fall down
now.
that rabbit hole. Thank God, Dad. That's
no, it wasn't even my rabbit hole. This was like long before anything. Like my Twitter algorithm is purely just sports, like football.
I think someone also messes with my algorithm because Country Boy, he's always. I'm hoping he's one of the guys that I hope he's the one that actually liked this video. But man, he's a good follow on X. But my gosh, some of the stuff
He's great. He's great.
It's like I'm watching a lion maul this puma or whatever it is. Like I was like, oh shit.
Well, now my Instagram algorithm. Now that's the one that I purposely messed up because there's some wild shit on Instagram. So the more wild shit that Instagram shows me, it's like when I'll go watch like 5 videos, whichever one was the wildest, that's the one I click like on because I just like I got a video the other day that it suggested to me. There was a guy standing on his head with his head inside of a toilet, upside down in a skirt, playing a cello like he's like in a horror movie.
What are you watching, dude?
Covered in mud.
And dude, I don't even want to take a stroll down your algorithm.
There's this other guy who stands on platforms with these gigantic like dumbbells attached to ropes, and he pushes them up and waits for him to. He's wearing a dress also for some weird reason, and he waits for it to come back and hit him in the nuts. And he goes every time it hits him in the nuts, he goes meow meow.
Wait, you sent me one of them flipping videos.
Yeah, and so my Instagram algorithm is completely screwed up.
Hey, you're trying to ruin mine.
Yeah, I'm on a mission to ruin people's algorithms on Instagram just because I really don't care because it's social media and it's not that important. It's not that deep. But yeah, speaking about ruining algorithms and doing stupid shit. Well, Kevin Keatsman tried to put himself back in the news this week.
When doesn't he try? He always tries. Yeah,
he's always trying to put himself back in the news with his new show, Uncanceled, which can we just keep him canceled? Like sports media is so much better with him just being canceled and just not having to hear his stupid ass takes and his racist ass behavior. He's such a bitch. Yeah, when he talks, like he's such a crybaby bitch all the time, and it's just so annoying to listen to. But anyway, allegedly though, there was a leak in the Chiefs organization that decided to tell just him that the Chiefs are out on Kansas and that they're going to stay in Missouri. And of course, some reputable news agencies ran with this because maybe they just don't know the history behind Keatsman,
which is unfortunate. You should know. Which is
unfortunate.
How does he still have? I'm more curious how he still has ties in that organization.
I don't think that he does. I think he's totally making it up. I think it's total bullshit. It's like who corroborated this? Oh well, Jason Whitlock probably was the person who he heard it from, and then Jason Whitlock heard it from Save Our Chiefs, who was the people who allegedly said that there was a huge meltdown between Eric Bieniemy and Patrick Mahomes in the locker room of the AFC Championship game. Remember, and that's why the Chiefs lost, and that Andy Reid and
that Bengals game, right?
They hate each other, and they weren't talking, and all this other stupid shit that was totally unfounded and 100% false. So
take all this for a grain of salt, people. Like
take it all for a grain of salt, like
a big ass grain.
Like, here's the deal. Right now, we know nothing. Here's what we know at this point right now. Missouri got their asses handed to them by Kansas, and they didn't have a backup plan. And so then the governor scrambled and threw something together that said, hey, we've approved up to 50% funding for the Chiefs to stay in Missouri and stay at Arrowhead for the renovations. But that would still end up going to a vote eventually. In Kansas, it doesn't have to go to a vote, and it's up to 70% of it is funded. That right there tells you that Kansas is a better deal for the Chiefs. And the Chiefs haven't said that Kansas is off the table. And so until the Chiefs say Kansas is off the table, Kansas is still very much on the table. Even if his report was true and the Chiefs canceled 5 contracts of people in Kansas, that probably means that that's because they settled on the 6th one that won the bid. You know
exactly.
what I mean? Like there's no that's not an indicator of anything whatsoever, other than the fact that Kevin Keatsman is trying to get himself back into the conversation of sports media in Kansas after he ostracized himself. And so I'm calling bullshit on it.
Same.
Stay canceled, Boomer, and stay off my timeline. For what it's worth, though, I still think the Chiefs are going to end up in Kansas just because I think the dollars just make more sense. Do I want them to stay in Missouri?
What they want to do, there's already room over there for them to do.
Yeah, 100%. And
like if they go out by the Speedway, that's literally the most I think the most ideal, great location.
It's awesome. It's perfect. And I think that here's the thing. It's like, yeah, so the old man in me who grew up going to games at Arrowhead and grew up going to games at Kauffman is going to be sad when Arrowhead and Kauffman are no longer the Chiefs and the Royal stadiums, right? Like I spent my entire life attending games in those stadiums, and I have a lot of memories there. That being said, it's a business, and stadiums come, stadiums go, and
the location. I've talked to so many people, Rocky, of people saying that they're not like, oh no, I'm a Jackson County. I'm not going to go to Kansas to watch the Chiefs. I've talked to so many people that are like that, and those people are delusional.
Liars.
Yeah,
liars. They are
1,000% liars. They'll be over there opening night at the new Arrowhead.
Yeah, and here's the deal:
2.0.
If they don't, the Chiefs will still sell their tickets to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
There's not going to be open seats in the Chiefs Stadium, whatever the new Arrowhead or whatever they're going to call it. Regardless, as if they say they're not going to go over there, but they are going to go over there. You know why? Because they already go over there to watch Sporting Kansas City. Like there's a lot of people.
People I talk to don't like soccer, but that's just the people I've been talking to. That's fine.
But when I lived in Jackson County, me and my friends, I had a lot of everybody who I went to Sporting Kansas City games with, and half of the people who are in the Cauldron all live in Jackson County. They all live in West. They all live in Westport or the Crossroads or, the River Market or wherever it is. I've been away from Kansas City long enough now. I don't know where the trendy places to live are anymore, but wherever the cool places to live are now in KCMO, like that's where they live. And they all like 5 people to a house and they all carpool down there together. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah. It's the only way to do it.
It's the only way to do it. I mean, soccer is a poor person's sport to attend because the tickets are so much cheaper. So when you're young and poor and you want to go to a sporting event, you
get it for $5. Oh, we're going, boys.
Yeah, you go see Sporting Kansas City. You go in the Cauldron. You have a effing good time. And so, but that's what I'm saying though is, the people you're talking to might not be going to see Sporting Kansas City, but there's people from Jackson County. There's a shit ton of people from Jackson County who are going to see Sporting Kansas City.
I'm sure.
And it's like, it doesn't matter where the teams are. Fans are going to show up to the games.
Yeah.
Right. This isn't Tampa where nobody goes to see the Rays because they have to drive over an 11-mile ocean bridge and nobody really cares about baseball. Everybody's a Yankees fan in Tampa. That's the shit part. Is that the Rays are the second most popular. Yeah. The Rays are the second most popular
Yankee facility. So
yeah, well, that's the whole thing too. Is like the Yankees AAA team is literally like the professional baseball team is across the ocean in St. Pete in like an industrial area in a shitty ass stadium, but the Yankees AAA stadium is it's smaller but arguably nicer and right next to Raymond James Stadium in like the heart of the town, heart of like the suburbs of Tampa, like right in the middle of everything. And so that tells you everything you need to know, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like that's the problem. And the Rays are currently up for sale. They're selling the Rays. So
Good.
we'll see what happens there. So
maybe if the Royals move out, the Rays come here.
yeah, well, hopefully the Royals stay and the Rays stay. Yeah. And we're getting a brand new female soccer stadium though here in Tampa. So that's cool.
Nice. You gotta have the KC Currents when you go there to kick some ass.
Yeah, I can't wait. I just want as many sports franchises as possible in Tampa so I can watch Kansas City teams come and beat the shit out of them. Just beat the living shit out of every single Florida team when Kansas City comes to town. I obviously live here and the city's fine and all that, but no, until I die, I got 913 and 816 and 785 tattooed on my motherfucking heart. 10 toes in, bitch.
Hell yeah.
Every single day. So
hell yeah. Beach season, baby.
Beach season, baby. All right. Back to football. So question for you, Kramer.
Yeah.
We've talked a little bit about the Chiefs having a really deep receiving group this year.
Very deep. Big deep.
There's also a lot of news coming out of camp about Tyquan Thornton looking pretty good. And I liked his tape a lot coming out of college. His numbers were depressed a little bit because he played a year with a broken hand and a cast on his hand. Like he legit played starting wide receiver for Baylor with a broken hand and a cast on his broken hand.
He's got that dog in him.
Yeah, he's got that dog in him. So he has struggled with injuries. He's a smaller guy. But can Tyquan Thornton make this roster?
Ooh, this is a loaded wide receiver room. I don't know because I'd like to see Jalen Royals make this roster more than Tyquan Thornton a lot.
100%.
And then I could also see Elijah Badger if things go properly. He could probably beat out Tyquan Thornton for a spot on this team. And because basically they're almost the same exact dudes. I think Thornton's one of the guys out. This is such a crowded and talented wide receiver room. Like I think it's one of the most talented wide receiver rooms I think I've seen Mahomes ever have.
Oh, 100%. The Chiefs would have to keep 7 wide receivers, I think.
You'd have to.
For Thornton to have a chance, right? Because you got number 1 wide receiver is Rashee Rice. Number 2 wide receiver, you're going to say is Xavier Worthy now. 3 is Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
4 is Juju. 5 is Jalen Royals. 6
is Sky Moore making the team?
No, I'm going to say it's Nico Remigio because he's a kick returner.
Yeah.
Nico Remigio is probably number 6. And so then you're talking. So then talking Tyquan Thornton, Sky Moore, Justin Ross, Mac Delana even. I like him a lot. Elijah Badger, like.
We also got Jason Brownlee.
Yeah, Jason Brownlee too.
I am a big fan of Jason Brownlee, former Saint.
So maybe Tyquan ends up on the practice squad. Maybe he gets poached if he's on the practice squad. If he can't make the 53-man roster, then I want him. I would like for him. I wouldn't hate it if he gets poached onto another team just because I think he's good enough to make a 53-man roster in the NFL.
I just don't think there's a room for him on the Chiefs at all. Because the best room for him would be at this point would be on special teams, but they've already gotten a special teamer with Nico.
Yeah, and so I think he's practice squad bound. If they're able to stash him on the practice squad, then more power to him.
Yeah, that's a win. Especially if he can stay on the practice squad.
Yeah, as many good players as you can on the team, especially because injuries are going to happen. But yeah, I don't think he can make the team. I don't think he makes the team.
I don't think so.
All right, let's just do this really quick. I mean, we got the time, right?
Got nothing but time, brother.
Let's try to do a 53-man roster prediction.
Oh boy. Right.
Or at least let's just start with the offense and see how far we want to go. All right. Should we? I should probably bring up a spreadsheet.
What can we start in the trenches first? Because it's just easy to build out of the trenches.
All right. So you want to do offensive line first?
I think that'd be the easiest for our mind's sakes.
All right. So Josh Simmons, number 1.
Yeah.
Trey Smith.
Yes.
Creed Humphrey.
Caliendo.
Okay. Caliendo. Obviously Jawan Taylor.
You got to put Kingsley in there.
Yeah. Kingsley.
Hunter Norzard.
You think he's a lock for the 53?
I think he's a lock. They like him too much.
Wow. Okay. I'll put them on there. But okay, so then that's 8. That's 8 offensive linemen right there.
Not bad.
All right. So then do you want to go to the defensive side of the trenches?
We can stick on the offense.
Okay, let's go tight ends then. Travis.
That's a lock.
Travis Kelce.
Noah Gray.
Yeah. Noah Gray. Jared Wiley.
Yeah. Do you think they keep 4? Tonian?
No, I don't.
You think they just keep 3?
I think they keep 3.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
All right, wide receivers. We're gonna do running backs.
Wide receivers.
All right, wide receivers. So Rice, Worthy,
Brown,
Jalen
Royals.
Schuster, Royals. All right, so that's 5.
Nico.
Remigio. That's 6. Are we saying they're gonna keep 7 wide receivers?
Yeah.
All right, who are you going with? I'll give you the 7th wide receiver.
You know what? Let's put Thornton on there because I think he's on the higher end.
All right, Thornton's making the 53.
He's making it. Making it.
That means that they're probably that means that sorry, Carson Steele, you're probably not making the team.
Yeah, no, that's that running back room. Because I mean, Pacheco, Hunt, Mitchell,
Pacheco, Smith.
Brashard Smith. Oh yeah. Brashard Smith has to. Yeah, you just.
All right, so that's our wide receivers. Quarterbacks probably only 2, right? We're thinking it's going to be Mahomes and Minshew.
Yeah.
And then
Oladokin's going to be on the practice squad. When isn't he?
And so will Bailey Zappi if he doesn't get picked up.
True.
By somebody else. All right. They'll do special teamers. We have Winchester.
Our guy Winchester.
Who's gonna be the punter?
I don't think it's Riza. I think I'm gonna butcher his last name, but Eddie's our punter. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce his last name.
All right.
Icky.
Eddie's our punter. Who's gonna win the kicker? Who's gonna be our kicker?
Butker.
You think it's gonna be Butker? You think Butker's gonna win the position?
who's going against him?
Nobody.
I'm gonna say is he battling somebody this year?
No, he isn't. All right, so now let's switch over to the defensive side of the ball. Okay, so we got Chris Jones.
Yes.
We got Mike Dana.
Norman Lott.
Yeah, we got Norman Lott. We got Omenihu.
George.
Yeah, we got George.
Is Mike Pennell?
Yeah,
he's making right.
Yeah, he's making it.
He's locking the team.
Yeah, they brought him back.
FAU.
Yeah, and Gelati. So that's 8 defensive linemen there. They almost see another run stuffer there on the defensive line.
Tuipulotu.
You think Tuli's older brother?
Yep.
All right, we'll say Tuipulotu. We'll put him on there. All right, that's 9. All right, so then let's kick it out to linebackers. We got Chanel.
Drew Tranquil.
Yep.
And
Tranquil.
Of course, Nick
Bolton. Jeffrey Bassa.
Yes. Jack Cochran. I think he still makes it.
Does Brandon George make it as a special teamer?
Yes.
I mean, they're in love with him. Yeah, he's going to. All right, so that is 6 linebackers. That's the max. They're not going to carry more than 6 linebackers, I don't think. All right, secondary. We got Christian Fulton,
McDuffie.
Yep.
Jaden Hicks, Jalen Watson.
We'll do cornerbacks first. Let's just do cornerbacks first.
Okay.
Jalen Watson. All right, so Christian Fulton, Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson. Who else we got?
Noel Williams.
Yep, Noel Williams.
Did we do Joshua Williams?
No, we didn't do Joshua. But you think Joshua's going to make it?
I would assume he would make it. I'd say because he's his size. You want his size on the team. Maybe he can play a little bit better this year, but that's might be asking a lot.
Yeah, it is. It really is. To be honest. But yeah, so
I think if you're this is the question I should ask you: Joshua Williams or Najee Johnson? Yeah, I think one of those guys make it.
Well, my question is Joshua Williams or Chris Roland Wallace?
Oh. I would still go Joshua Williams. That's me.
All right.
What would you do?
I would probably go Chris Roland Wallace. Maybe we'll do Chris Roland Wallace.
We could still take him. I mean, I think we have enough room on our.
That's six cornerbacks. So then let's go over to safeties. We're gonna say Jaden Hicks. We're gonna say we're gonna say Chamari Connor, right? Probably.
Yes.
Brian Cook and Mike Edwards.
Yeah.
All right, so let's count and see how many people we have on our roster right now. Do you think we're over? Or do you think we have a couple spots left?
I think we might have a couple spots left.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
While Rocky's counting that, if you haven't done so, make sure you like this video. Make sure you also subscribe, turn on notifications, and don't forget to like the video. We can't have one goddamn like we had this video this last time. So while it's happening, where are we at, Rocky?
52.
Oh shoot! Okay, that's we need one more.
Room for one more player. Who do you want? So here's the people who are currently not on our team that are on the Chiefs roster at this point, right? So no Sky Moore, no Justin Ross, no Jason Brownlee, Elijah Badger, Jimmy Holiday, Magdalena, Esapole, Dalton Cooper, Joey Lombardi, CJ Hansen, Wanya Morris, Ethan Driscoll.
If anybody, it's Wanya. That's going to probably because they would want to probably carry 2 tackles, backup tackles.
Yeah, I would probably say as well. We don't have Jerry Tillery though. You think he's gonna make? He's gonna make the roster.
I don't think he makes the roster, Rocky.
Wow, you don't think he makes the roster?
No, he's. I've watched Jerry Tillery play most recently. I don't think he makes this. He's not. I don't think he's worthy of this roster.
What about Malik Herring?
I like Malik Herring more than Tillery.
I know, so do I. I like Malik Herring a lot. I think you're probably right about Wanya, though. They probably carry Wanya. I can't imagine Malik Herring not making this roster, though.
Yeah. Well, we could take out Hunter Norzad because if anything, he goes to the practice squad.
Let's take off Tua Pelotu and put on Malik Herring.
Okay.
And then we'll still add Wanya Morrison.
Works for me. That's how we.
There we go. That's the Chiefs 53-man roster. That's a deep 53-man roster. I'm not going to lie.
The fact that we got the 52, that was amazing.
Yeah, so let's look over the positions right now. Like the offensive line has the most questions, but it also has solid quality players in depth. Tight end is deep, wide receiver is deep, running back is serviceable, quarterback is the best in the history of the football. Great special teams, Winchester, Butker. The defensive line I mean, Jones, Dana, Norman Lott, Amenahue, George Karlaftis, Pennell Gelati, FAU, and Herring. That's a pretty deep defensive line. And then Chanel, Tranquil, Bolton, Bossa, Cochran, and George. Those are pretty good linebackers. I like our cornerbacks that we have, and even our safeties. Like, I don't think the Chiefs currently have a weakness on their roster.
And from what I saw from leaks wise as well, they are the number 1 rated team in Madden right now. So the highest rated team, I should say.
It's good to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to be the best. All right, before we get out of here, I want to take a moment, though, really quick. Kansas City Chiefs, a player personnel assistant, Ellie Perigo, was just featured on NFL.com as being a woman who is an up-and-coming, star in the NFL in the front office. She started out as an intern on the football coaching side of things, and that's where she got to meet Brett Veach. And he was basically, when he switched over to the personnel side, he was like, "Hey, I'll leave." Him and Mike Bradway were like, "We'll leave the film room open. You can come watch film whenever you want." She took him up on it, and she leveraged her internships at the Chiefs to a full-time permanent position for the KC Current, and then once they basically like you don't know what you got until it's gone. Once she was at the KC Current, the Chiefs were like, "Oh, actually, we want you to come back for this other temporary position again." And she was like, "I can come back for a full-time permanent position." And they were like, "Well, okay, if that's what it's going to take." And then homegirl got herself a job in the front office in the NFL as
that's badass. Good for her.
As a player personnel assistant, right? And so she's still young, still up and coming. She's she's only been out of college a handful of years. And she's hustling and grinding, and she's a name to watch, right? I like, here's the crazy thing. Mark my words, in the next 5 years, there's going to be a female general manager in the NFL.
Oh, I'm sure, especially with what's going on in Indianapolis. It's like that's a good representation of what could possibly be happening.
Well, 100%. And I mean, and she could with the way that Brett Veach trains up his people and how they get opportunities in other places. I mean, it would not be beyond the realm of possibility that in 5 years we're looking back and saying Ellie Perigo is now the general manager of the Carolina Panthers, right? What I mean, and that being said, she's from Carolina, and that's the team that she rooted for growing up. And
so that possibility that could actually happen.
So the possibility that actually happened. Yeah, and so there's a chance.
Tepper would actually need her.
Is Tepper actually smart enough to hire her?
No, he's not. He's an idiot.
Is she too good for him? Is the question, right? Like, do we want that?
I think we are all too good for the Carolina Panthers.
Like, I'm sorry, but God damn it, Ellie, I want better for you. I want better for you than you to be the general manager of your childhood team, the Carolina Panthers. I want you to stay away from Cleveland. I want you to stay away. I pray a hedge of protection around you, a prayer circle around Ellie to keep her away from the Carolina Panthers, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Cleveland Browns, any of those super shitty, just god awful poverty franchises. Maybe the Baltimore Ravens or the Pittsburgh Steelers, right?
Or the Las Vegas Raiders.
Nah, fuck the Las Vegas Raiders. and fuck Tom Brady. This has been Veach season. We love you guys. Have a great day.